I actually knew that I was going to marry Meredith, or I wanted to marry Meredith rather, on our first date.
The main thing that helped me to know he was the one is I, from the very beginning, was comfortable with him, and I felt like I could always be myself, and I never had to put on any sort of an act or hide any part of my personality.
I immediately after the date was over and she got in her car and I got in mine, I sent a text to my best friend saying I was going to marry her.
And he just made me feel super comfortable, which usually it takes a while for me to get comfortable with someone. So to be like that with him right away is how I knew.
A smile on my face, I won't be perfect, but I promise I'll try every day for you.
I, Meredith,
take you, Luke,
take you, Luke,
to be my husband.
to be my husband.
I will share my life with yours.
I will share my life with yours,
Build our dreams together.
build our dreams together.
I will be whatever you need.
I, Luke,
Take you, Meredith,
take you, Meredith,
to be my wife.
to be my wife.
I will share my life with yours.
I will share my life with yours.
Build our dreams together.
Build our dreams together.
I'll be the butt of a joke if it means we both laugh. The unaware, bunny-eared man in the photograph. I'd give the whole of my heart if it means you get half. Darling, please, be my better half. And I will be
Support you through times of trouble
Support you through times of trouble
and rejoice with you in times of happiness.
and rejoice with you in times of happiness.
will be whatever you need me to be.
Support you through times of trouble
Support you through times of trouble
and rejoice with you in times of happiness.
and rejoice with you in times of happiness.
When that baby graduates and moves too far away, when our parents pass away and our own hairs turn to gray, when all that's left of me is this song, then
I promise to give you
I promise to give you
respect, love, and loyalty
respect, love, and loyalty
through all the trials and triumphs
through all the trials and triumphs
of our lives together.
of our lives together.
whatever you need. Yeah, I will be. Yeah, I will be. Try my best to be.
I promise to give you respect,
I promise to give you respect,
love, and loyalty
love, and loyalty
through all the trials and triumphs
through all the trials and triumphs
of our lives together.
of our lives together.
This commitment is made in love,
This commitment is made in love,
kept in faith,
kept in faith,
lived in hope,
lived in hope,
and made new every day of our lives.
and made new every day of our lives.
This commitment is made in love,
This commitment is made in love,
kept in faith,
kept in faith,
lived in hope,
lived in hope,
and made every day of our lives.
and made every day of our lives.
It is now in my honor and delight to declare you husband and wife. Luke, you may kiss the bride.
Would it be ourselves if I can't help falling in love with you?
You guys ready? Please be seated. On behalf of Luke and Meredith, I would like to thank you all for being here on this lovely afternoon. Thankfully, we've been blessed with a little bit of shade just now on this scorching hot day. Appreciate to those of you that are a little lighter compared to the rest of us that are sweating up here. Thank you for taking time out of your days and lives to come for this. It means everything to these two lovely people that I have the pleasure of knowing. For those of you I haven't gotten the chance to meet, I'm Taylor McCursey. I had the pleasure of serving with Luke in the Marine Corps for the past 4 years. He is one of my best friends, and I've gotten the pleasure of getting to know Meredith through him and having a wonderful time with him along the way. Before we begin, the bride and groom would like to recognize the important role their parents have played in their lives in this union, in shaping their loving partnership and the future days that they are going to have together. Luke and Meredith, will you please deliver your letters to each other's parents? Now, on the note of how hot it is, Luke and Meredith, knowing me all too well, have asked me to keep this ceremony short, sweet, family-friendly, and to the point. So I had to redline everything I wanted to talk about. That includes every time that me and Luke would go out together on and off base in the Marine Corps. No. Which, while heartbreaking, you can get those stories after this. There is one thing, though, that kept Luke grounded through all those times. Because while myself and these other gentlemen were off having a drink and going out in town, Luke was in the barracks for 3 consecutive hours, FaceTiming the love of his life. And we constantly come in and be like, Luke, you want to go do something? He's like, no, I have my priorities straight. And clearly this has worked out for him standing here today. I had the pleasure of meeting Meredith when she flew halfway around the world just to come to Australia. We like to think to see Luke, but really it was Australia and to go scuba diving. Marriage is not just a ceremony. It is not a piece of paper like the ones I'm holding. It is not the rings that the best man almost misplaced 20 minutes ago. Marriage is the most personal challenge and commitment two people can share. It is a bond forged through dedication, perseverance, and love, something that these two are not in short supply of. It is defined by the history these two will have and through the hours of listening to one another, through the supporting of each other and believing in one another. With this ceremony, we acknowledge the lifelong commitment these two are about to make before ourselves and the eyes of God. These two cannot share this love in isolation. Their love is a source of strength through which they can nourish one another and their relationship, but also the world around them. In turn, it is our responsibility as friends, family, and loved ones to share our love for these two. By our support, respect, and care, we can support their marriage and the new family that they will create. For all those of you present today, will you support Meredith and Luke in love by offering them your joy, friendship, and appreciation? If so, answer, we will. Get out of here. Now, the couple has chosen a short unity ceremony. Some of you may have seen this done before in the exchange of jars of sand poured into one through the lighting of a candle or many other types of bonds. Luke and Meredith have chosen something very special in which they will take this box of wine and their vows and place it inside. This box will remain unopened until their first year anniversary, at which point they will open it, look again at their vows to one another, and enjoy this bottle of wine, only to be resealed with a new bottle and new vows for every year they share together. Take this one. Yep, I have them. The letters. It'll fit. Flawless. Thank you. We come now to the words the bride and groom want to hear most today. The words that came across the threshold from being engaged to being married. A marriage, as most of us understand it, is a voluntary and full commitment. It is made in the deepest sense to the exclusion of all others. It is to enter into with the desire that it will last for a lifetime. Before you declare your vows to one another, you shall confirm these intentions. Meredith, do you come here freely and without reservation to give yourself to Luke in marriage? And if so, answer, I do.
I do.
Luke, do you come here freely without reservation to give yourself to Meredith in marriage? If so, answer, I do.
I do.
For our vows. Dearly beloved and honored guests, we are gathered here together to join Luke and Meredith in union of marriage. This union is not to be entered into lightly, but thoughtfully, seriously, and with a deep realization of its obligations and responsibilities. Meredith, please repeat after me. I, Meredith,
I, Meredith,
take you, Luke,
take you, Luke,
to be my husband.
to be my husband.
I will share my life with yours.
I will share my life with yours,
Build our dreams together.
build our dreams together,
Support you through times of trouble,
support you through times of trouble,
and rejoice with you in times of happiness.
and rejoice with you in times of happiness.
I promise to give you
I promise to give you
respect, love, and loyalty
respect, love, and loyalty
through all the trials and triumphs
through all the trials and triumphs
of our lives together.
of our lives together.
This commitment is made in love,
This commitment is made in love,
kept in faith,
kept in faith,
lived in hope,
lived in hope,
and made new every day of our lives.
and made new every day of our lives.
Luke, repeat after me. I, Luke,
I, Luke,
take you, Meredith,
take you, Meredith,
to be my wife.
to be my wife.
I will share my life with yours,
I will share my life with yours,
build our dreams together,
build our dreams together,
support you through times of trouble,
support you through times of trouble,
and rejoice with you in times of happiness.
and rejoice with you in times of happiness.
I promise to give you respect,
I promise to give you respect,
love, and loyalty
love, and loyalty
through all the trials and triumphs
through all the trials and triumphs
of our lives together.
of our lives together.
This commitment is made in love,
This commitment is made in love,
kept in faith,
kept in faith,
lived in hope,
lived in hope,
and made every day of our lives.
and made every day of our lives.
Luke and Meredith will now exchange rings as a symbol of love and commitment to one another. Your rings are a circle, a sign of union, never ending, and love for one another. It is sealed in the vows you have just taken to love each other without end. Luke, please place the rings on Meredith's left hand and repeat after me. As a sign of my love,
As a sign of my love,
that I have chosen you
that I have chosen you
above all else.
above all else.
With this ring I thee wed.
With this ring I do thee wed.
And Meredith, please place the ring on Luke's left hand and repeat after me. As a sign of my love,
As a sign of my love,
that I have chosen you
that I have chosen you
above all else.
above all else,
With this ring I thee wed.
with this ring I thee wed.
By these vows and rings here today, you have begun your marriage before family and friends alike. I speak on behalf of all of us when I wish you all the happiest years to come. Side by side, through heaven, hell, and everything in between in this world can possibly offer you two. May you never waver in faith to one another, and may every day bring you the joy you two deserve. It is now in my honor and delight to declare you husband and wife. Luke, you may kiss the bride. You two may make your loving exit.
Well, it's kind of a crazy story, a long story. Luke and I met via Tinder, technically, but I was in college at UCF, and my friends and I downloaded Tinder like as a joke, just to swipe through and like look at people's profiles and like be like, look at this is so funny. So I wasn't like taking it seriously or anything. But I matched with him when I was home on spring break my freshman year. So my location was like set to Larchwood, and he was actually deployed in Japan.
I had actually paid for Tinder Premium to set my location back home because I was about to come home on post-deployment leave. And we matched with each other about 2 months before I came back.
And then we started talking, and we found out we had so much in common. So we were talking for like 2 months. And then I was home for summer, and he flew back on his post-deployment leave, and he was visiting Sioux Falls. So we got to meet in person, and we went on like 4 dates. So that's how we met in person.
We met up on Cinco de Mayo at an Italian restaurant and wondered why it was so empty in there.
So for our first date, we met at Falls Park, and we immediately went to an Italian restaurant. And it's pretty funny because it was actually Cinco de Mayo, and we didn't realize that. So we went to the Italian restaurant and no one was there, and we were surprised until we remembered it was Cinco de Mayo. So now every year we go to Italian on Cinco de Mayo. But after that, we went to Cold Stone and got ice cream, and we just sat and talked for a long time. And we both said how we felt like we'd known each other forever, even though it was our first date and we were just eating ice cream. And then we went back to Falls Park and walked around a little bit, and that was it.
I actually knew that I was going to marry Meredith, or I wanted to marry Meredith rather, on our first date.
I feel like I didn't have a certain moment where I knew Luke was the one, like a certain pinpoint moment. It was like a culmination of things, but it probably took me around 6 months before I knew for sure. And when I look back, I would say that the main thing that helped me to know he was the one is I, from the very beginning, was comfortable with him, and I felt like I could always be myself, and I never had to put on any sort of an act or hide any part of my personality.
I immediately after the date was over and she got in her car and I got in mine, I sent a text to my best friend saying I was going to marry her. I've still got that text, actually. Yeah, I didn't show her that text until the night we got engaged.
And he just made me feel super comfortable, which usually it takes a while for me to get comfortable with someone. So to be like that with him right away is how I knew. Oh my gosh. The proposal was like wild goose chase of a day because I knew it was coming at some point and I had suspected it would happen that weekend, but there were all these moments where I thought something was suspicious and then I'd find a reason to explain it. And then the next thing would be suspicious and everything.
So the proposal did not go as well as I had hoped as far as like the execution. Obviously she said yes, and like there was never any doubt about that, but like...
So I was visiting him in California for the weekend, and I thought it might happen that weekend. It was a long weekend, but Friday passed, Saturday passed, and then it was Sunday, and I had to leave Monday morning. And I thought he surely wouldn't wait until the last day.
So we were in California. I was stationed on Camp Hilton, and the day she was there for like the weekend, and I was going to propose at some point during that weekend.
But Sunday morning, we were at our hotel and he said, hey, I need to go back to my room and get more clothes. And I was like, what the heck? It's the last day. You rewear clothes all the time. There's no need. But so I thought that was suspicious. And we drove over there, and on the way, I had to go to the bathroom. And instead of letting me come to his room and use his bathroom, he backtracked to go to like a grocery store or something so I could use a public restroom. And then so I thought he was probably grabbing the ring from his room. But then when he came down from his room, I didn't see a box or anything in his pocket. So back and forth all day. And then he said, oh, we should watch the sunset on the beach. And I was like, this is it.
Well, the day I'd picked, we went to the beach around noon, and we got lunch and I kind of scoped out some spots that I thought would be good, nice and secluded on the cliffs, overlooking the ocean, and obviously it's the west coast, so the sun's going down over the water, and so that would be, really pretty.
But we went to go get dinner at this Italian restaurant, and the service took a really long time. So the sun started going down and it was completely dark by the time we were done with dinner.
Well, our favorite Italian restaurant, Sonny's in San Clemente, it had just opened up outdoor seating during COVID. And so we thought, we were going to go watch the sunset that night at the beach, and that was the guys that I was going to use to get her to, the beach. Well, Sonny's was open, and it hadn't been open for a while, so we decided to stop. We figured, we've got like 2 hours. It took us about 45 minutes to get seated, and then it took us another 45 minutes to get our orders taken, and then another hour to get our food. And so, externally, Meredith tells me that externally, I was, just looking super cool, calm, and collected. I didn't have a care in the world.
I thought, okay, he doesn't look like he's stressed about the time, so it must not have been it. But apparently he was stressed the whole time and was just hiding it really well.
Internally, I was not doing great. I was panicking because I didn't have like a backup plan. And by the time we gotten out, like it was dark. Like there was nothing left of the sunset. It was like an hour after the sun had gone down.
So he knew that I wanted to go stargazing and had been wanting to go for a while. So he suggested we go stargazing at this lake that night. And I said, can we just stop by the hotel? I need to get warmer clothes. It's cold out. And he goes, what are you going to wear? And I was like, that's suspicious because you never care what I wear.
And so I decided to take her stargazing at the lake on the base, Lake O'Neill. And, there's no one there at that time of night. And so we drove there and we parked the car, put a blanket down on the ground there. We were stargazing for a little bit and I proposed there.
And we're driving back and we pull into the lake, and I thought it was funny and I thought he forgot to stop at the hotel so I could change, but really it was all part of the plan. So we got to this lake and it was dark out and all the stars were out and it was just us there, and we were like laying on this blanket looking up at the stars, and then that's where he proposed to me.
I think we bring out the best in each other. We hold some similar views, but we're pretty different people. And she's very type A, very plans everything. You may have seen her wedding binder is thick of the guest list, all the vendors, the contact information for everybody, for you and the photographer and everybody. And this morning she just handed that binder to one of her attendants and said, if anything comes up, deal with it. So, and then I am very go with the flow, just kind of, whatever happens, it is what it is, just kind of, going where the wind blows me, I guess. But
I think the best thing about him is that he's so easygoing and easy to have around, and everyone likes him. And that's probably what most people would say. But even more personally for me, I feel like he understands me in a way that nobody else does, and he's a really good listener and really patient. So that's really important to me.
Yeah, so the long distance definitely shaped us a lot. It forced us to get really good at communication because a lot of the time all we had was some texts, some emails. There was one stretch where I didn't have any contact with her except 5 emails for about 4 months.
I would say long distance really helped us get a lot closer. And at the time it was really difficult. There was a lot of times where we couldn't speak for weeks or months on end. And it was really hard. And while you're going through it, it seems like the worst thing in the world, but everyone tells you that it's worth it, and you can't see that.
I was in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and I didn't have a way to contact her. And so we got really good at saying what we meant via text, and trying to be specific and not leaving too much to question as far as tone and interpretation, stuff like that. But it definitely made us a lot better communicators, and it gives us a lot of good perspective too. You're like, you know, if we did that, we can do anything, you know.
While you're in it. But when you look back, you realize, wow, we are so much closer than other couples that didn't have to go through this. And they don't even know that they're not as close as us, you know? They think they're super close, but we know we've bonded over that. And when we can get through those kind of challenges together, we know that no matter what else comes our way, we'll be able to make it through that, because we had to go through times of not speaking for 4 months and things like that. So it made us great communicators, and it made us so much closer than we ever thought we could be.
I guess my message would be, I love you. Can't wait for a few hours to pass here.
After our very first date, you texted your best friend saying that you were gonna marry me, and I didn't know for 2 years until after we got engaged. But that meant a lot to me to know, and now the day is finally here. So it's been a long time coming, but I can't wait.